See if it authorizes the connection. All right. Looks like we are live. Okay, good stuff. All right. So, how do you use Zoom tonight? So, again, the other broadcaster isn't really working, so it's giving me lots of issues. So, give me 1 second here, guys. Let me tweet this link out. So, 1 sec. Do 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 do. All right, and we are live. Oops, there we go there. One second. Okay. There's the link. All right, good stuff. So, we'll see how this works out tonight using Zoom. So, I do like my other broadcaster better when it works, but we're gonna go ahead and try to use Zoom here tonight. So hopefully this comes through okay. Let me double check it here. Looking pretty good. All right. Well, I hope good to see everybody. Hope everybody's doing well this evening. And I hope everybody had a great trading day today. So good stuff. All right, and you can hear me, Seahawk. Fantastic. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right. So today we're going to be continuing our conversation on day trading pitchforks with bounces. So good stuff here. So basically just continuing that and really just want to kind of hammer home the idea that these levels on pitchforks are very powerful and we can look for bounces. We'll take a look at those on the shorter term time frames here today. So let me switch here to the so I was getting used to the broadcast right here. So obviously everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. All right, awesome. Good. So what we're going to do is we are going to, as we always do, we're going to take a look and see where we left off with the market here today. Then we're going to take a look at the futures and see what might be going on into this evening and into tomorrow. And then we'll go through the topic and then we'll take questions and chart requests. So let's get started. There. All right. I think that's coming through okay here. Okay, good. So, sorry, just making sure this is coming through all right. Just make sure it gives me that confirmation. There it is. Okay, great. Good stuff. All right. So SPX, guys, up about 6 points today. Not really getting super duper impulsive. Now, one of the things that we're noticing is that as the market is continuing to push higher up here, the VIX continues to push too. It's one of the things that we've been noticing today. So the market's a little bit nervous, right, at these all-time highs. So that keeps us a little bit on our toes. But generally, though, the charts are still looking pretty strong. We took the inside week up, and we're getting some follow through here with that hammer week so far as we head into 2 more trading days left in the week. Really, ultimately, we're working on this, seeing how this wave count plays out for us here. Looks like an impulsive move, clearly an impulsive move up after the ABC corrective pattern. And then we got this ABC 1-2, right? And then we got a little bit of a 1-2 right here and another 1-2. And we're starting to work up here. We got a nice gap yesterday. And today we ended up basically mostly in yesterday's range. So we're hoping that this thing can try to push right here. We'll take a look at the futures in a little bit to try to get some strength, gap up tomorrow. And who knows, maybe some stimulus news will go through tomorrow and they'll actually buy it up. So we'll see where that goes from there. Again, more Powell talking today, so that kind of did some things there. One of the cool things that we do want to look at here, of course, I tweeted this out a little bit earlier, is the SPX is actually at the top of that pitchfork, right? So we went from this pivot to this pivot to this pivot through the Corona crash. So you can see how effective this was at these levels, right? So for looking for bounces, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. So, and we'll take a little bit of a closer look at this too in a little bit, but let's take a look at the intraday price action here today. So kind of some choppy action in yesterday's range. We got into the gap a little bit, but one of the cool things that this did here was it held these levels, right? Which is great. So that gave us a good bouncing point here today at the open. So that was right off those levels. And it was actually a pure gap fill on the S&P futures from the highs. And so once it tagged that level, we got a nice bounce to the upside. upside, had a higher low, and worked our way up. Now, it wasn't phenomenal. It wasn't, like one of these type of moves, but it was decent, right? So it gave us some opportunities there on the intraday there on the SPY. These are the levels that we provide to our members before each market open. So you can see again how these play out too when you get into the more micro time frames. You like to see how the levels are. Once we got above this volumetric low right here, getting into yesterday's range, right? We got a higher low off of that, and we bounced really, really nicely here. And then it held with a higher low here as well, right? So that basically kind of started a harmonic move from yesterday, and started to work its way up, and then we just got a little bit choppy at the end of the day. So, but it did give some good opportunities on the intraday time frame. So good stuff there. Let's take a look at the futures and see what we're up to or down to here this evening. So we're only down about 2 points right now. So the chop is basically continuing. We do give a little bit of a push here at the open of the futures session to get to our signal zone. This is a drop zone, right? We had this rally-based drop. And so we're going to see how it holds up this evening. We're between zones right now going into tonight. So we'll see how they hold going into the rest of the evening. If we chop, if we come back down, test a couple of these prior levels, and then we'll see where we go from there. So in the meantime, again, unfortunately, the current short-term trend is down here, but we'll see if we can break over this geometric line. And it looks like here we've already lost this geo line right there. So let's see if we can get back above that and where we go from there. So one of the cool things that we can do though is use our pitchforks, right? So let's take a look at that here, and we'll get into the topic. So let me do this. It's a little bit slower than the other broadcaster. So again, here the topic today, obviously this week has been day trading pitchforks, right? So we talked about the basics of it, the concepts of it. Yesterday we talked about it using the shorter term time frames. Today we're going to talk about just looking at the bounces off of these levels. Okay, so let me get the chart pulled back up again here. Okay, so looks good. Let me make sure that is coming through on the broadcaster. One sec. Let me just make sure it's coming through. Sorry, guys. All right, there it is. Good. All right, so it is coming through. Okay, so pretty cool stuff. So one of the things that we can look at is using these pitchforks. Remember, the cool thing about the pitchforks is that they can help us find areas on the intraday timeframes and on the macro timeframes too, of where we might be looking for a potential channel forming, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the pitchfork here. I'm going to go to the lows right here. I'm going to go from essentially this level to this level right here. And you can see this pitchfork gave us a really, really interesting median line. Okay, so you can see that through the day, right? So once we saw this start to work its way up, we can use these levels to look for areas of potential resistance and support. And so going into the futures tonight, look exactly where we bounced, right off of the pitchfork median line. It actually happened again here with a nice upper shadow. So how do we know when to take these levels? When do we look for bounces on these? Well, we want to do, just like in any situation, is we want to look for confirmation, right? Whether we're looking for a trend line breakout or whether we're looking for a chart pattern breakout, right? So what we like to see is we like to see volume, right? And we like to see a confirming candle. And so, or another type of setup that's getting us out of that range. So just in this situation right here at the futures this evening, you can see off of this median line, we got a nice upper shadow here, off of that median line, right? And that gave us a nice shooting star, right? And then from there, we had a nice inside 5, and then we started to proceed our way down. So this can really help us to find these bounces off of these levels. Let's take a look at a couple more examples and see how they played out using a confirmation. So let's take a look at NVIDIA. See how NVIDIA's looking today. So NVIDIA had a really nice move here on the intraday. Nice breakout here. Let's zoom out a little bit and see what we can see. Okay, so cool stuff. So we had a nice pivot level right here. Right, we had a nice drop right here, and we had a drop right here. Okay, so today, based on this pitchfork, right, NVIDIA did not make it to the top of that pitchfork level, and that's okay, right? So it doesn't always do it. It doesn't always do it, magically with the ones that we draw, but that one you can see actually ended up working out pretty well. So crossing over through. And one of the things, like we said, we like to do is we like to take the median line and make sure it corresponds with bounce levels, right? So we had a nice level right here. We kind of held that median line level before we bounced. And so this pitchfork here from these levels ended up working pretty well. So NVIDIA gave a couple different bounces, right, off of this pitchfork zone going into today. So one of the things that we could look at is, all right, well, when do we look to see where the bounce is? Because it got below it right here. Well, we look for volume and we look for confirmation, right? And so you can see here at the open, once we got to these levels, levels, it took about until 10 o'clock, and we got a nice strong green candle right here without the volume. But then once we got over our 15-orb range using the intraday levels with the increased volume, we could see this thing was ready to move, right? And then we got a nice push right here, and we didn't reverse off of that despite the shooting star candle. Look at the low volume on that candle. We didn't move, and we definitely didn't get any confirmation below it. So that can help us look to see if we're going to get to the top of the levels up here. And then we worked our way up here, and then we bounced. We got an upper shadow off of that. We got some confirmation here, right? And we just started to grind our way down, into the end of the day till we got to the pitchfork median line. We got some confirmation up, and it started to work. So again, this is a little bit trickier on some of these names with options, but certainly for the dip buy at the open, it did give some key levels. And remember, when drawing this, one of the things that we like to do is make sure this median line has played out significantly on other levels when we're trying to build this channel. So it's really, really cool, right? Because if you think about it, there is no channel here, not until we drew the pitchfork, right? Just trying to make a channel randomly out of some levels, right, is tough. But the pitchfork gives us a nice geometric zone to play with, and it definitely showed us some good areas of support and resistance going into today. So that's the key with the bounces, and really what I kind of wanted to hammer home here today with not just because it gets to a level doesn't mean we want to trade it. We also want to look for confirmation. So, and also setting up those pitchforks using that median line to try to find those areas. So good stuff. All right. Well, I'm glad that came through okay. So at this point here, if anybody has any questions or chart requests, please feel free to put those in the chat window, and we'll get through as many as we can and try to wrap up as early as possible so we can all get a good night's sleep and have another awesome trading day tomorrow. So Shirley did send a few in here. Let me get those. Get those loaded up here as well. Again, thanks everybody for keeping Shirley in your thoughts and prayers if she gets better all the time. So let's take a look at a couple of these names. There's some really good names on here today too. So I'm going to add those to our list here for today. So let me get that tweeted. Let me get that posted right there. Okay, good stuff. Awesome. Good. So Chaitanya, what's going on? Good to see you. Hi, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Let me go to the daily chart here so we can take a look at some of these names and see what we have going on here today. Since we do have NVIDIA pulled up right here, Bond broker didn't ask about it. But NVIDIA, trying to be nice as possible because this is actually looking pretty good, right? We go ex-dividend tomorrow, so there might be a little bit of a dip off of it, but it looks like it's up a bit after hours. We'll see. But I like how it broke out of this geometric level. I love the outside day right here. Wasn't too happy about this candle yesterday, but today's candle is showing some promise. And like we showed here intraday, we did get some good strength. To me, this looks institutional, right? It looks like they loaded up on it and they didn't let it drop. Right, so that is a kind of a key tool right there to look to see if we're going to get some follow through. So let's see if NVIDIA can stay perky tomorrow. But anyway, other than that, so Jay Moss, what's going on? Long time no see. I hope you're doing well. JMIA, the epic cup and handle breakout. Again, guys, once I publish my book on all the topics that we talk about in our group and we get to chart patterns, JMIA has to make it for the sideways cup and handle. Just a beautiful move right here. A great example of a breakout that didn't get confirmation, right? And then a pullback here off of good earnings, and then a nice breakout right here that did get confirmation of it and then just kept on going. So JMIA hanging in there. It's still holding on to the 80 MA and the 382. It's a great candle here today. So let's see if we can try to push its way back up here and get into the gap. So nice stuff there. Let's take a look at Uber. So Uber, again, these were big names today, guys. Lyft and Uber were ones that we pointed out in the group and just gave some great opportunities throughout the day today. And Uber was one of them. Definitely a great breakout candle right here, and definitely one that we need to keep on the radar to see if this thing gives us a pause day tomorrow or if it gaps up and gets going. That one and Lyft, both very, very nice. And I think Shirley asked about Lyft too. So that's looking pretty good right there. STM, again, this thing's been doing pretty well. Again, it's a ADR, so you get all these crazy gaps on it. A little bit of a pullback there, but a decent candle. But the semis have been good. And so nice stuff there. Facebook. So Facebook looking pretty good right here. We got a breakout candle yesterday, a bit of an upper shadow. It's kind of pausing right here. So, but again, showing some general relative strength. So we'll see if that can continue to go too. And then I think you meant TSM on that one. Inside day, but again, the semis have been pretty decent right here. A little bit of pullback here, but see how it handles those inside days. So good stuff. Thanks again, Suyag. Chaitanya, Zoom is better, right? Is the quality coming through a little bit better for you? That's good. So maybe we'll keep using Zoom. I mean, it seems to be working fine. I just am so used to using the broadcaster because it presets up the room for me. And I had to experiment with a little bit to make sure we can maybe I can get Zoom to do it too. But yeah, I'm happy to use Zoom as well. Not a huge fan of the watermark in the bottom right hand corner, but I think if I upgrade it, I could have it say like positive trends or something like that. But anyway, we'll look at that too going into the future. But good stuff. But since well, looks like Von Berger was asking about Zoom in a little bit, but good stuff there too. So Umesh, what's going on? Good to see you. Let's take a look at Snow. Yeah, so Snow got a little bit of an avalanche there, right? After hours, right? So it got pushed out right there, but it kind of came back. It's just below today's lows. So let's see how that holds going into tomorrow. Again, if it can hold the pre-market lows and try to, kind of work its way up, we might see action. Otherwise, might show some chop on it. So not a huge amount of action on that one. Docu. Again, Docu's got earnings coming up this week, right? So let's keep an eye on that here. Yep, that's coming up here tomorrow after hours. This thing has just been chopping around like crazy, right? So a couple of the big levels we want to look at, right? We got this this sideways cup and handle pattern right here. So let's see if we can get a breakout over these levels, right? And if Docu's ready to get going, that would be sweet. ZEK, what's going on? Let's take a look at VZ. Yeah, Verizon, I know you mentioned it, looking strong. You got your gap up today, so it was really, really nice. It struggled with the prior highs, right, those prior pivot levels, but so it did give a nice gift horse gap there, so that's good. So let's see if that can hold. Rio Tinto with a nice gap up there today and a pretty decent candle. So let's see if that can hold there. Great volume on this one, and we'll see if that can continue to hold as well. Again, bullish still proven otherwise on that one. And Snow we just looked at. Great stuff there. So Chaitanya, yeah, Neo. I know, incredible reversal today. So this is what we call the whoops reversal, right? So coined, I think, by Larry Williams back in the 70s, right? So we gapped down below there. And then once we got into today's range, right, things really started to go. We were a little bit concerned, right? We were a little bit concerned with the prior geometric line right here that started the last breakout move. But boy, did it get into that range. So pretty important stuff right there. There's been some big news out here with the China names and, delisting and, not really getting good accurate audited information from them for earnings reports and things like that. So it might be down a little bit on that after hours, but let's see if we can get over today's high and continue to move and try to get over the ADMA on Neo. But very, very nice stuff. They give very, very strong moves today. It was fantastic. So good stuff there. Blonde Broker. Let's take a look at Zoom. So Zoom, guys, great job on this one. I know a bunch of folks, members in the group bought the dip on this one today. Why? Because look at this. It came right to the geometric level right here before it came a bounce. A little bit of upper shadow here off the cloud, but right at that level right there intraday was really an incredible move. Down off of earnings yesterday and a bounce off of that geo line here today for a big move at the open, and then it was kind of choppy sloppy for the rest of the day. So let's see how it goes. I mean, generally though, this whole thing is looking like a bear flag. So if we do break below here, watch out below. You got a nice big gap here, which was my original idea for it. But let's see how that goes on Zoom. And then TDOC, of course, is a very, very popular name now. A lot of folks are bullish on it. Again, declining volume here going into this big up move, struggling to get out of this geometric line right here. So you could look at that maybe if this is a breakout candle right here with some good volume, that this, right, is the 618, right? That blue line right there. So let's see if we can get above it and give a push on it, and if TDOC is ready to go. But good find on that one. Nice stuff. Mike, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, CCL, they bought the dip. Yay. Good stuff over there. Yeah. Cruise lines were pretty decent today. Again, they gap below that inside day, and they sure bought the dip off that trend line of the ADMA. That gave a good move today. Again, the cruise lines were strong today. So good stuff there. Good job on that one. What else? Can we also, take a look at Amazon. So Amazon with an inside day today, right? Amazon with an inside day. Woo! It's quite a chart right there. That's getting a little bit hectic, isn't it? So let's take a look in here. But all important stuff right there. It's been triangulating, right? A, B, C, maybe D, maybe E. Inside day right here. Again, it's coming across a geo line right here. Another geo line. So inside, let's see if we can get above the cloud and get some volume and get going to the top, at least to the top of this geometric line right here. So one of the big ones that we're looking at too. So nice stuff there. And then BA breaking out. Well, yeah, BA has been doing good, right? So one of the things is that we've talked about here on Boeing is the wave count, right? So if we go here, just to kind of show you what one of the things that we're looking at right here is that we got our essentially wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe, right? And sort of an ABC correction right here. This could be a 1, a wave 2, and it might be working on an impulsive wave up, right? So one of the other things that we could look at here on this too, there's a better count on this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a subwave 1, 2, of 5, right? So let's see if it's trying right here. Definitely some good volume today. Definitely a nice move. Tomorrow's gonna be very, very important for it if we get a gap up to look for some relative strength on Boeing. It's got room to go, and we'll continue to track this one for sure. So one of the big levels here that we are definitely interested in is this, and it broke above it here today. Right here was that last geometric line of the triangle that we were tracking for months, and now it is contending with that guy. Right. And we got through it there today with some volume. So again, let's look for the follow through on this one. Let's see if we get a nice gap up today and into tomorrow, and if we get some relative strength on it. So good stuff there. So yeah, very, very possible. Could be working on it impulsively, but Rocky, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Let's take a look at Intel. Yep. So Intel, again, nice strong breakout here at that geometric line. Nice inside day up, right? And hanging in there pretty well. Let's see how that inside day goes there today. Again, semiconductors been pretty good. I like how there's a very, very thin cloud right here. So it has a chance to get through there and try to work on that gap and get up to the 200-day moving average, which would be nice. Let's take a look at apples and bananas. So Apple, again, trying to work on a breakout right here. I like the pause day today with an inside day. Definitely important levels to keep an eye on tomorrow to see if we can break above those or if it retests it with some strength. So that'll be good too. NTAP, let's take a look here. Yeah, big gap up on that one. Nice move off of earnings. Again, good gap and go type style. But nasty intraday price action. This is one you just kind of swing and hope it goes up, right? So, but see how it holds if it can push over today's highs. That's going to be a big area for it. And then IQ, we talked about that. So that's starting to perk up a little bit too. Inside day up. Again, it's over the 80 EMA. So let's see if that can continue to push there too. Low volume there today too. So Michael, what's going on? Good to see you. Let's look at PLTR. Straddle at the close. Well, it's not a bad idea at the with the doji. Yep, nice doji right there. 50% retracements, good area. I like it. So it's a good find on that one. Big gaps below. You've also got NG. Inside day there at the cloud could be interesting. Let's look at BX. There you go. Breakout, guys. I know you guys like this one. You've been talking about it for a while. Good push on that one. Very, very nice job for the patient. And then not DuPont. You want 3D. Yeah, inside day up on that one. Just fantastic stuff. Great find there. Taranpreet Singh, what's going on? Good to see you. NVIDIA, we talked about that a little bit, but again, I'm liking NVIDIA. They came out with their 3060 graphics cards today, and they sold out as soon as they listed on Best Buy. So they had that going on there. But NVIDIA poking its head above the cloud there, so starting to look like it's getting going. CRWD is up after hours here on some earnings, I believe. Woo, nice move on earnings there for CRWD. So that's looking pretty good. Oh, I lost my there we go. Hopefully you guys can still see this. Okay, yeah, so it's looking pretty good right there. So anyway, CRWD up very, very nicely after hours. Let's see if that can get some good follow through tomorrow. We're at 160.50, and that puts us at all-time highs. So look for a gap and go on CRWD for tomorrow if it can get over whatever pre-market highs we have. So very, very nice on that one. Great find. So definitely going to be on the radar there. Let's see what else we got. Okta. Yeah, we had some earnings on Okta too. It's up to 249. So let's even get over these pivot levels and get a gap and go on Okta. DKNG, again, some great strength here today off of the lows. We've been tracking this one, right? So this was a nice bounce off of the 618 in the cloud, right? So tried to do it here the other day. It pulled back inside day, and now it's starting to get strong again here. I would like to have seen some volume, but that's what we got going on in DKNG right now. Piton. Gave a nice push intraday today, but kind of came back in the inside day range and at the 50-day moving average. So that kind of is slowing down on that one a little bit. And then STNG. STNG down a little bit here to see how it holds the 50-day on that one. OSTK. Overstock, if I can type that in there. No, you're fine. You're fine. That's great. I appreciate it. So overstock, again, holding that prior support level down here, right? So it's just kind of hanging on to that right now. This thing's been epic with its little bear flags down. So let's see how it goes. Let's see how it holds those levels. It breaks down below today's lows. Could be a little bit iffy on that one. ZS with earnings. ZS with earnings up to 164. Wow, over these levels right now. So let's see if that can give a gap and go as well. Wow, a couple big names here today. ZS and CRWD with some gap and go potential going into tomorrow for sure. Good stuff. Dustin, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. I hope you're doing well. Let's take a look at IDEX. Yeah, so IDEX, again, hanging in there. Again, some nasty pullbacks right there. It's still right at the 80 MA, so just be careful how that one holds there. CX. CX with an inside day. See if that could break out of that one. GPS. Hanging in there on the 50-day moving average is still a little bit blah, right? And then SPCE. I mean, it's trying, right? It's grinding its way up there. So nice dip buy off the ADMA on that one today. But again, here's another sideways cup and handle too for a good breakout on that one. Again, some interesting levels up here. It's got some good contracts going on, I think, now with like NASA and stuff. So looking pretty good there. Kira, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, TSM, very, very nice. Up a little bit after hours again, inside day. Let's see if we can push its way up there. And Sono. Yeah, this is a good one here today as well. Nice. I like how it held the inside day range and pretty decent price action there on the intraday. APPS. I'm actually liking APPS. It gave a good push to the upside here through this through the trend line, right? And this is a good example, right, of waiting for the pause and waiting for confirmation, right? Because it came back here and then it's holding the 618 and that geometric line again. So it's now or never for APPS if it wants to try to start climbing its way up. So we've got that going on there. Honeywell, again, this thing's been pretty epic up here, looking like an ascending triangle at this point, right? So you got this and this. Right, so let's see if we can get above those levels and if it can start to work its way up. So looking pretty good there. And PLTR. PLTR again with the gap down right there. But again, I think Michael's idea of a straddle is pretty interesting. Otherwise, if it breaks down below these levels, it could continue its sort of A pattern formation on the downside. So good stuff there. So the Nest, yeah, JMIA. Yep, we looked at that a little bit earlier. But again, nice rebound on that one back over the ADMA. So let's see how that goes there. AXGN. Yeah, JMOS, yeah, solo too. I see that. Actually a nice strong candle right there. Again, volume's decent, right, but not overall like amazing, right? But it is working its way up there. And Stratasys, pretty good right there, trying to work its way up over the inside day, but low volume today. So a little bit of caution there too. So yeah, JMOS solo. So kind of hanging in there as well. Again, all these names, right, with the big pushes to the upside and downside, but a decent dip buy here off of these levels. So let's see how that holds. I think this is a good retrace on this. Let's see. So let's just go from these lows right here to the highs. So it basically held the 618 there. If you go off the gap, it was like an 886, but okay on solo. So let's see if we can get back over the ADMA on that one. Nice find there too. The next, yeah, ATVI. You get an ATVI, just waiting for it to get out of the geometrical level on those. SE, again, same thing with this megaphone, just kind of chopping around there, but it is over the ADMA, so that's good. But it's nothing I would really mess with right here. And then Bluebird over the ADMA too, so I'm starting to get a little bit perky there. I know you mentioned that the other day, so that was a nice one too. And then LSPD, yeah, strong, nice move on that one, good find on that one there too. And then NTR, could be working on a bull flag, so let's see how that goes there. Tracy, what's going on? Good evening. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, let's take a look at Facebook. Again, Facebook is showing some pretty good strength right here. I like the 80 MA curling up, the 50 MA curling up, right? So it's trying. It's trying for sure. It's shown some nice, strong intraday price action. So let's see if that can continue. FSLY there with a bit of a hammer-ish type move. Keep an eye on it, right? See which way these cloud names would go. If all the cloud names start doing good, FSLY might move in tandem with it. And then Boeing, again, looks like it's working on a, I love how it got over this geometric line right here. Looks like it might be working on to try to finish this wave up. So let's see if we can get some follow through. It looks like it's already up a bit after hours. So let's see if we can gap up and give us some more strength going into tomorrow. Definitely going to be on the radar then. Apple, again, nice stuff there too. Inside day over the cloud. So let's see if we can get over the inside day highs there. Zyme, inside day as well. Let's see if we break over this level. Shop, hanging in there off of the inside day, right? So failed to break down, came back in the range. So again, watching that geometric level for some for potential breakout on it. Disney with a nice move today. Yeah, that's a good one too. So another one, a good one to keep an eye on the radar there. Makes sense that it's working its way up to all these high levels here, with them laying off everybody and closing their parks and all that stuff. But vaccine news does help these help these companies a bit there too. Tesla holding the 8 EMA on this one. Inside day down. Didn't quite fill the gap today, but it was a great dip buy on that one too. Michael said just waiting for work shenanigans for the epic short. I know, right? Exactly. So we'll see how that goes here. Again, CRM came out and said they get it, that they're going to buy this thing, and then we'll see where it goes from there. So pretty epic on that one. So a couple ones here from Shirley again. So Lyft, super strong breakout candle on that one today. Again, going to look for it we pointed this one out in the group today. Again, same with Uber. We're going to see if it gives us a gap up tomorrow. Or if it gives us a pause day, for a possible further upside of that one. But I do like the breakout on that one as well. Uber again with a nice breakout too. And then Boeing again working on the wave 5. MU has been pretty decent recently, actually pretty amazing, right? So got through a lot of levels that, gets tight and goes, gets tight, goes, gets tight and goes, which is pretty rare for MU, right? We typically don't see this, but it's been pretty hot recently. Got an upgrade this morning too. So nice stuff there. And then PFE with the vaccine news all the time here. So had a decent candle yesterday, gave us the doji sandwich, gapped up again over that. Watch your resistance levels up here, right? So, and see how that holds. But so far, so good on that one. So nice to have Mookie. Yeah, so Boeing again looks like it's working on the, still working on the impulsive move up. We talked about yesterday that it's got to hold right here at the 80 EMA, and it did, right? And it pushed above this, this geometric level right here, right? And with some good volume today. So let's see if we get some follow through to the upside tomorrow. So, so good stuff there. Blonde Broker, yay, NVIDIA, exactly. So Mookie, spreads have been my bread and butter. Nice, that's what I'm talking about. Good stuff. JMOS, you meant TS, no, you meant TSEM? Why didn't it pull up? Oh, Tower Semiconductor. I got you. I must have typed it in wrong, but good stuff there. Yeah, nice doji sandwich potential on that one. I like it. Yeah, Zoom. So like Zoom on YouTube, exactly. Got to short YouTube, exactly. Google, read, LOL. I love it. So snow melted. That's a good one too, exactly. Couldn't keep up with the heat. Nice one right there. Anki, what's going on? Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Let's take a look at Baba. All right, well, Baba's trying right here. It's below the 618, right? So, it looks like it filled this gap right here. So, so Baba's got to get going, but it might have a little bit of issues with that news that's been coming out, right, on banning Chinese companies and stuff like that. So, a little bit of caution with that one. Facebook's had some relative strength, so let's see if that can keep going on that one. Goldman Sachs with a breakout there today. Look at that. Let's get a trend line on this one here. Okay, yeah, so looking pretty good there. Would like to have seen some volume on it, but let's see if we can get some follow through on Goldman Sachs tomorrow. Again, the XLF was pretty strong today, so very, very nice on there. Goldman's up there. CVX hanging in there off the inside day. Again, sort of looks like a an impulsive maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. Just be a little bit careful with CVX, but see how it holds these levels. So if it breaks down below these lows right here, right, we might come back and test the 200-day moving average on it. So a little caution there too. So so good stuff too. So you got Michael, you got gold, of course. Yeah, it's trying to perk up there a little bit, looking okay. And then, of course, the Bitcoin. So HODL, right, inside day, and that looks like it's working on a double inside day right now. So let's see how that goes right there. So Chaitanya, yeah, another one on and NEO. Again, same thing with the whoops reversal right there, getting back over those levels. Again, just be careful. It's under the 80 MA on that one, but let's see if we can try to get back above it. CM Lee, what's going on? Good to see you. Yeah, I heard about the delisting of China. You guess I'm at a JD Baba. I know, exactly. I worked with Honey. I hear you. Good stuff there. So gold futures zigzag up step on the daily. Nice. Yeah, absolutely, J-Moss. My pleasure. Holiday Rush would be good for Diz. Yeah, that's true too. And also a lot of new subscriptions too, thanks to Mandalorian. So you won't find you there. I love it. So China EVs going out. Skill for US EVs, Workhorse, and Solo. Right. So we got that going on too. D'Angelo, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Let's take a look at AMD. Yep, AMD again, guys. We got a nice move on the open on this one. We traded this at the open. It was a great trade, and was hoping for a stronger candle on this one for it to get some follow through, but it left us with an upper shadow today. So let's keep an eye on it right here. It could be kind of like a double pause day, and then we'll see if it gets going then. So we got that going on there too. UAL. UAL with a decent candle on that one here today, so it's doing pretty good. Just sort of like the CCL. Right, and then of course we looked at Boeing a little bit earlier, and snow off of the 618. Nice, so that's a good one too. So good stuff there. Yeah, I know, exactly. So Tyler, what's going on? Love the stream. Great. Well, thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. So so good stuff, guys. So yeah, well, maybe we'll try to use the Zoom broadcaster again tomorrow night and see how that goes. And then again, guys, I really appreciate everybody for tuning in. I hope you've been enjoying the series this week on Pitchforks. Awesome questions. I know, exactly. The printer. Awesome questions tonight and great chart requests. I really appreciate it. If you're new here, definitely click subscribe on YouTube. We do a lot of other great videos. Our playlists are loaded with like hundreds and hundreds of videos on technical analysis and concepts. So be sure to check those out. And whether you're new here or not, definitely please hit the like button. It goes a long way. Smash the like button. We always appreciate it. And even if you're watching the recording, please hit the like button. It does go a long way, and I do appreciate it. So good stuff there. So good stuff. Yeah, 3 years to comply, exactly. So Boeing delivering order to airlines. Yeah, excellent. Well, good stuff, guys. I really appreciate everybody for tuning in. We'll catch you guys in the Good Morning Market Prep video there on YouTube and on Twitter. So looking forward to seeing you guys then. And I hope everybody has a wonderful evening. And until then, stay healthy out there. And remember your risk first and stay safe so you can stay in the game. And I'll talk to you guys.